What if the history you learned in school represents merely the final chapter of a much longer book, with all previous chapters deliberately torn out? Geological evidence indicates Earth has hosted at least 12 major civilizations before ours. 12. Some built structures that modern engineers admit they couldn't recreate today despite all our advanced technology. Others vanished overnight without war, without gradual collapse, simply disappeared. And the most disturbing detail of all, more than 200 cultures worldwide describe the exact same catastrophic event happening simultaneously, as if humanity's collective memory preserves records of an extinction that mainstream history prefers to label as myth. Hello, I'm Ivan Lima, and this is my new channel, Connected to the Unknown. If you enjoy questioning what you've been taught to believe, hit like and subscribe to stay updated. Long before recorded history, in an era when world maps looked nothing like today's, a civilization emerged where we now find the Arctic Circle. Its name was Hyperborea. Herodotus, Pindar, and Pliny the Elder wrote about it not as myth, but as a real place. What they described wasn't a frozen wasteland, but a warm, fertile paradise where the sun never set for half the year. Its people lived in perfect harmony with advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering. But how could such an advanced civilization have existed where today we find frozen Arctic terrain? The answer may lie in 10th century maps created by Mercator, showing an ice-free Arctic continent with 4 distinct rivers flowing from a central. How would 10th century cartographers know the Arctic's pre-ice appearance unless they were copying maps far older, made by people who actually lived there when it was habitable? Modern satellite imagery reveals something even more startling beneath. According to ancient texts, the final catastrophe came when Earth's axis tilted, transforming paradise into the frozen Arctic we know today. Survivors migrated southward, seeding new civilizations with fragments of Hyperborean knowledge. As the North froze, another civilization in Central America's jungles reached heights that would puzzle archaeologists for centuries. The Maya didn't just build cities, they constructed astronomical observatories disguised as pyramids. The pyramid at Chichen Itza casts a serpent-shaped shadow exactly twice each year. The Temple of Kukulkan features 365 steps, one for each day of the solar year, constructed without metal tools or wheels. Without what WED recognized as advanced technology, they calculated that Venus completes its cycle in 583. 92 days. Modern astronomy estimates 583. 93 days, a mere 6-hour discrepancy over 500 years of naked eye observation. Then around 900 AD, their cities were abandoned. Construction halted mid-project. Temples left unfinished like a catastrophe in slow motion. But if Maya disappearance seems mysterious, another vanishing was far more dramatic. It happened in a single day and night. In 360 BC, philosopher Plato published 2 dialogues describing Atlantis not as fantasy, but as historical fact, passed down from Egyptian priests. This island empire, larger than Libya and Asia combined, featured walls coated with precious metals, naval power that dominated the Mediterranean, and architecture that set standards the ancient world never matched. As they prospered without competition, arrogance and corruption consumed them, and punishment came swiftly and completely. In Plato's words, in a single day and night of misfortune, the island disappeared beneath the sea. For 2,400 years, debate about its existence has continued. In 2013, divers discovered circular structures off Spain's coast matching Plato's descriptions. In 2014, a shipwreck near Sicily yielded 87 ingots of auriacum, the rare metal Plato described coating Atlantis buildings. Scientists had dismissed it as mythical creation. Now we're finding it. While Atlantis sank beneath the Atlantic, another massive civilization thrived on the opposite side of the world. Kumarikandam, according to ancient texts, was a vast landmass extending south of India, connecting Madagascar, India, and Australia, a territory of 49 distinct regions. Home to 3 great literary academies called Sangams, where poets and scholars gathered to preserve knowledge from what they considered humanity's cultural and linguistic birthplace. 3 successive floods over millennia gradually submerged the land, cities, and people, forcing survivors to migrate northward. Between India and Sri Lanka exists today the so-called Adams Bridge.
a 18-mile chain of limestone shoals that appears almost artificial. This isn't merely oral tradition. The city of Pumpuhar, mentioned in ancient Tamil literature, was discovered submerged exactly where texts indicated it would be. Approximately 14,500 years ago, sea levels were 390 feet lower than today. Vast habitable areas now lie beneath oceans, silent and invisible. High in Bolivia's Andes at 12,500 feet above sea level exists a site that keeps modern engineers awake at night. At Pumapunku, stone blocks weighing over 100 tons fit together with such precision that a knife blade cannot slide between them, no mortar, just stone on stone, with complex H-shaped joints and right angles so exact they appear machine-made. Modern engineers admit they couldn't replicate this with primitive tools. Conventional archaeology insists it was built by the Tiwanaku people around 501,000 AD, using only stone hammers and copper tools. Alternative researchers suggest otherwise. Some blocks show evidence of having been cast rather than carved. The precision is extraordinary, less than 1 of error across surfaces extending several meters. Researcher Graham Hancock suggests Tiwanaku was part of a pre-Ice Age global civilization, with technology we've simply lost. Speaking of inexplicable technology, how do we explain the Sumerians? Around 4500 BC, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, a civilization didn't gradually evolve from nomadic groups. It appeared fully formed with established cities, laws, writing, astronomy, mathematics, and monumental architecture from the beginning, as if someone had simply flipped a switch. They built ziggurats aligned with celestial bodies, tracked planetary movements with astonishing accuracy, divided time into hours and minutes, a system we still use today, and created cuneiform, humanity's first known written language. 2 clay tablets appeared, written by people who already knew exactly what they were doing, with no learning period, no trial and error. Their king lists describe rulers who reigned for thousands of years. What happened to them was, as usual, abrupt droughts, rebellions, collapse within decades. And the succeeding Akkadian Empire, considered history's first multinational, left a mystery no archaeologist has solved. Its capital, Akkad, the seat of the world's first empire, has never been found to this day. 12 civilizations, 12 sudden beginnings, 12 endings that official history can't adequately explain. Hyperborea frozen overnight. Atlantis swallowed in a single day. The Maya abandoning entire cities with construction unfinished. The Sumerians appearing fully formed from nowhere. The repeating pattern across all of them remains identical: an extraordinary flourishing, knowledge seemingly beyond their time. Then erasure. But what if this erasure was never complete? What if fragments of this knowledge were scattered across other cultures, preserved in forbidden manuscripts, carved into impossible stones, hidden in astronomical calendars too precise to be coincidence? What would happen if the greatest lost civilization wasn't any of the 12, but was actually our own, viewed through the eyes of someone 10,000 years in the future? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Big hug, and see you in the next video.